Crash and Burn, the Blake Lively story. Crash and Burn. And literally, Blake Lively destroyed her career. I think she's done irrepressible, whatever damage to her husband, Ryan Reynolds. And yeah, I think Taylor Swift is basically no longer friends with her. But yeah, Crash and Burn, the Blake Lively story.
Blake Lively, or Mrs. Ryan Reynolds depending on your point of view. Never has an actress had every ingredient for success laid out in front of her. The looks, the star-making role, the famous husband to prop up her business ventures, and somehow managed to squander all of it. Blake Lively and her husband Ryan were once the toast of Hollywood. Good-looking, successful actors and entrepreneurs, they were—
Correction. One's good-looking, one's successful. Well, actually, the same person's good-looking, the same person's successful, the same person has made a career building businesses. The other one has been a leech, being married to one of them and literally just taking all the credit. Everyone that likes one goes to the other because it's like, oh, you know, connection.
were funny and self-deprecating and deceptively down to earth, always swapping totally not rehearsed banter on social media and looking flawless at red carpet events. But beneath the polished smiles, the brand deals and the forced likability, there were problems afoot. Problems that eventually shattered the carefully constructed public facade in a maelstrom of lawsuits, failed business ventures, accusations and—
Okay, I'll probably have to check out that IBZ video probably during the week.
Counterclaims and some of the most tone-deaf marketing that the industry's ever seen. So join me as we embark on another episode of Crash and Burn, the Blake Lively story. But just before we begin our little adventure, indulge me for a moment as I give a quick word from this video's sponsor. If, on the other hand though, you'd rather stick to the critical path instead of going off on side quests with me, then feel free to skip to this time code now. Either way, the drinker appreciates you. Hey, you!
Oh.
Do you enjoy using the internet? Yeah, I bet you do.
Oh,
but did you know that there's dangers lurking?
I was about to mute and I'm like, wait a minute, that's the mute for Discord. Yeah, but I do gotta say, she literally did irreparable. Thank you, my brain, for finally forming irreparable damage to her own career, to Ryan Reynolds' career, to, well, the Swifties will always follow Swiftie. Nobody cares if she's done something like, yeah, whatever. Nobody will care. They're crazy to begin with, so it's fine. But yeah, I haven't really seen, like, I'm not excited for Ryan Reynolds' next film because it's just like, oh, I don't know what he's doing right now. Anyway, let's be honest. I don't know what he's doing right now. But at the same time, it's like she's destroyed so much.
Drinker at checkout to get 4 extra months of Surfshark VPN. Don't say I never give you anything. Anyway, let us continue our journey together, shall we? The woman who would one day become Blake Lively was born Blake Ellender Brown in Los Angeles in 1987, one of 2 children to Elaine and Ernie Lively. Both her parents worked in the industry, so it was pretty much inevitable that Blake herself would end up the same way. Her first role was a bit part in the movie Sandman back in 1998, directed by her own father.
Sandman?
Or no less. But it wasn't until 2005 that she'd get her first big break with the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Fucking sure, okay. The film was a minor hit and garnered Lively a lot of positive coverage, and soon led to other roles in low-budget comedies like Accepted and slasher flicks like Simon Says. But it was in 2007 that destiny came calling in the shape of Gossip Girl, a CW show based around a vacuous series of YA novels with all the usual shit you would expect. A bunch of rich, privileged, impossibly good-looking young people caught up in a web of sex, lies, relationships, and betrayals. Oh my goodness, how original. The show was...
But that's the thing. I can't say, like, I do like original things, but everyone has those genres that they absolutely love. Like, for me, it's lit RPGs. If you go into, like, my, like, even behind, oh, up there. No, not right here. I think it's further back. This way. I have a ton of lit RPGs. Behind the green screen, I might have a few, because I love lit RPG. It's one of those genres I absolutely go to. Are they all the same? Absolutely. However, some of them are more grounded. Some of them are like the solo leveling power fantasy. And what's funny is I'm not really a fan of those. I like them every now and then, but for the most part, I'm just like, I don't like it when everything just comes to someone easily. Where's the struggle? I don't need to follow a Mary Sue, even though it's a guy. What I don't know the term for the male hero or whatever. But yeah, everyone has those genres, and like women love this kind of stuff. The intrigue, the cheating, the scandal, the pretty women getting the pretty guys and then finding a better guy. And then the guy that cheated on her ends up wanting them back because now the girl is with a prettier guy. It's like the ideal kind of story for women. My brother started watching this a few years ago, and he was like, dude, I'm down to like season 4 right now. And he started it like a month. Like, this was a while ago, but he was like, in a month watching it, he was already on season 4 because he just fell in love with it. Of course, he was watching it with his wife. So my thinking is he was forced to enjoy it. But yeah, that's crazy. That's crazy.
A huge hit though, and ran for 6 seasons, finally ending in 2012. But bigger things were on the horizon for young Blake. See, she'd met Ryan Reynolds, who at the time was still married to Scarlett Johansson, on the set of the disastrous flop Green Lantern in 2010. The two hit it off though, and by 2012, Reynolds had divorced Johansson and married Lively, at a former slave plantation,
Daily
no
slut.
less.
Yep.
Not a great plan.
Historical faux pas aside, Lively and Reynolds would soon prove to be a big hit in celebrity circles. Funny, self-deprecating, and always ready with a bit of verbal sparring on social media. Yeah, it was all a bit cringy and manufactured in retrospect, but at the time they both seemed like a breath of fresh air. High-flying but laid-back Hollywood celebs who did more than just spout the usual pre-approved political and social opinions, who never took themselves or their fame too seriously, who seemed more like your friendly neighbours next door than a Hollywood power couple. They were playing the fame game, and by George, they were winning. But there was a growing disparity in their respective careers, dear viewer. While 2016's Deadpool finally elevated Reynolds to the A-list and kicked his career into high gear, Lively was still stuck in the purgatory of mid-level dramas and forgettable romantic comedies. Let's be honest here, it's not like Cafe Society or Hick were exactly setting the world on fire. She was still working, but what she really needed was her very own Deadpool, a breakthrough role that would take her from promising B-lister to Hollywood megastar. And in 2023, her chance finally came when she signed on to Justin Baldoni's romantic drama, It Ends With Us. Yeah, she might have been 15 years too old for the character she was supposed to be playing, and yeah, the script had to be rewritten to accommodate her creative and wardrobe demands, but who cares? Blake Lively was finally on her way to the big time, and It Ends With Us was her star-making vehicle. Or so she thought. The problems began almost immediately with rumours of tension on set, blow-ups between Lively and Baldoni, control and behaviour, conflicting creative visions, and toxic work environments. Lively herself made a rare, up until then at least, public misstep when it came to promoting the film. Hoping to copy the culture of girly fun that propelled Barbie into the box office stratosphere the previous year, she publicly encouraged groups of friends to wear flowery clothes to screenings and make the whole thing into a fun girl nights out, and even
when it's not that. Like, that's the thing, it goes completely against the story. It goes completely against the story. And you have to push the narrative. And the thing is like, it happens a lot, especially like in Hollywood, where you have these people that believe, like, I can understand Dwayne Johnson, you know, The Rock, in his movie, what was it? Black Adam, where he wanted to take full control of like the editing. He wanted to make himself the center focus. There was so much he wanted to do. He had the star power to do it. I've never cared for him as an actor. There's only 2 films, Be Cool and Pain and Gain. The only 2 films I enjoyed him in. But it's like, he had the star power to make it happen. However, here you literally have someone who's an obscure nobody. The only reason it would have made so much is because Ryan Reynolds' wife. That's what made the film, made people want to see the film to begin with. I wanted to see the film because it was Ryan Reynolds' wife. I didn't care that it was Blake Lively. I don't care for who she is. Never really enjoyed her. I enjoy Green Lantern because that's where Ryan Reynolds and Blake Lively met. It's just like, aw, it's an interesting romance story where they met, the married couple met each other. But they literally she saw herself as like, oh, I'm married to this legit elite person. I can put my foot down and everything will be done the way I want it to be done. It's just insane. Absolutely insane. And of course, the guy who's always the director had always been like a woman's type of first, a female. What is a male? Not a male activist, but a guy that pushes feminism and female activism and that kind of stuff. I think there's a term for it. But yeah, he was that. He was always on the forefront doing that kind of thing. Would it be cliche if the guy who was pushing women's rights and women's feminism forward was the creep all along? Yeah, it would be cliche. I mean, that's happened quite a lot, where the person pushing for something is the one actually causing the problem to begin with. Just like with the racial tension They like in politics, the people saying that the KKK are the problem are the ones paying the KKK to keep the problem going because it's an infinite money glitch. But yeah, it's just like, I can't believe it. But at the same time, it's just like, they just destroy each other's career. If you're someone there, like for me, if I'm doing a job, I sign the contract, I do what I'm there to do. I'm not going to put my foot down and go past what other people do. There's no point. There's no point. Even Candace Owens made a full stupid series about this controversy. Of course, everyone does. I prefer like the concise, quick, and dirty details. I don't need to go through a massive courtroom experience.
And took the opportunity to show for a drinks company at the same time. Because hey, why not, right? Ryan has a drinks company too.
It's a bold strategy, Cotton. Let's see if it pays off for him.
The problem, as you might have surmised, is that Barbie was a light-hearted, girl-focused nostalgia trip comedy with mass-market appeal. It Ends With Us was a serious drama about breakups and abusive relationships. They are not the same, and trying to promote an alcohol brand with a story about domestic abuse was about as smart as jumping headfirst into an empty swimming pool. Despite all this stupidity though, the film went on to make $350 million at the global box office. Lively finally had the breakthrough success that she craved, but all was not well. Her feud with Baldoni was getting increasingly public and vicious, with Baldoni allegedly hiring a PR crisis management firm to preemptively attack her on social media. And by December 2024, Lively had filed a lawsuit against him, accusing him of harassment, defamation, and conspiring to destroy her public image. What should have been the crowning achievement of Lively's career was descending into an ugly swamp of controversy, lawsuits, and potentially career-ending accusations. As the saying so rightly goes, the only people who win in situations like this are the fucking lawyers. Baldoni soon retaliated.
Well, the lawyers are the people making content on the back end of this dumpster fire, this absolute dumpster fire. This stuff, like, I grew up wondering why people enjoyed tabloid garbage. Like, it made no sense to me. Why do they like learning about this stuff? Why do they like seeing what these people who aren't important doing with their lives? And then I get introduced to the legendary series, and then I start falling down this rabbit hole of watching tabloid garbage of like what is it that what is it called? Something slop, the slop tubers. Yeah, slop tubers. I freaking love it. I love it all. It's tabloid garbage. It's like watching the dumpster fire. You watch it all burn in front of you. It's rubbernecking. You see the accident on the side of the road, and you literally have pulled over, and you've sat there, and you're just staring at it happen. You're watching the entire thing burn right before you. It's insane. Yeah, even Taylor Swift was involved. I mean, I think Taylor Swift cut ties with Blake Lively after this because it disparaged, whatever the word is. I'm retarded. Whatever. Her image. It made her look bad. And she had bad friends or something, so it's just like, I'm not going down with you type of mindset.
By launching a $400 million lawsuit of his own, not just against Lively, but also against Ryan Reynolds and Lively's publicist Leslie Sloan, claiming extortion, breach of contract, and defamation. According to Baldoni's lawyers, Lively was overbearing and difficult to work with, hijacking the costume department and adding almost $500,000 to the budget in the process, and even threatened to publicly smear his reputation to leverage more creative control over the movie. Ryan Reynolds couldn't escape the growing controversy.
I don't get it. What is with these people who, when they start making money, they have to dress rich at all times? Why? Like, that's the thing. I've always thought about it. If I ever made that much money, I don't think I could ever do that. I don't think I could. Maybe I'll get a few t-shirts, which, well, no. I think the t-shirts would get holes in them by moths eating them no matter what. So why would I get something that costs a $300 t-shirts when I can just get a $10 t-shirt? I don't mind looking like an idiot. And I enjoy what this one says. I want what I want when I want where I want. I just need to ask my wife first. It's a funny shirt. It's an absolutely funny shirt. Why do they always need to dress rich? And she refused to downgrade her outfit, even though it fit the story of the film. Even though it fit the story of the book. No. She had to be rich and wealthy somehow, wearing several $1,000s in outfits in every shot. For some reason.
Either, according to Baldoni, an angry and belligerent Reynolds showed up on set at one point to lay the smackdown on him in a shocking departure from his self-deprecating.
People are obsessed with other people's personal lives because their own lives are not going well. I don't know if that's the case. Like for me, I think for me, like watching like the legendary series, what I get joy out of it is just seeing people who are like absolute lolcows, like destroying their own lives. Like they're being absolutely retarded and bringing themselves down. And it's just funny. It's just funny to watch. It's funny to watch because I'm happy with my life. I'm happily married. I have an amazing wife, an absolutely amazing wife. But at the same time, I don't need to. It's still fun to watch. It's still fun to watch the dumpster fire. Yes, I'm not them. I'm not them, and I'm happy. I'm happy, and I'm not them. And it's just like that extra bit of seasoning on top of a. I was gonna say cake, but you don't want seasoning on cake. It's a bit of extra seasoning on that nice, saucy deep dish pizza. A little bit of extra seasoning. That's how I see it. The deep dish pizza is good with everything in it, but you just put a bit of extra seasoning on it just to make it a bit better.
In a nice guy public persona. The Hollywood golden couple, who only a year earlier seemed immune to any form of criticism, suddenly found themselves embroiled in an increasingly dirty PR war, and their attempts to control the narrative only seemed to make things worse. Reynolds publicly joking about the supposedly traumatic and serious situation on SNL was unanimously agreed to be the worst possible response to the drama. Meanwhile, old interviews of Lively showing her as prickly and aggressive conveniently resurfaced around the same time. As many celebrities have learned to their cost over the years, it doesn't have to be true, it just has to stick. For years, they had marketed themselves as the Dream Team, as inseparable as Pedro Pascal from his mustache, but the problem is that when one member of the team fucks up, everyone else feels the repercussions from it. The internet, always on the lookout for a good old-fashioned fall from grace, soon had the couple in their crosshairs. The public perception of Reynolds and Lively changed from the fun, affable couple next door to a bullying and manipulative Hollywood power couple, throwing around their influence to get their own way and using their clout to silence critics. As the months of legal battles and online dramas dragged on, Baldoni's lawsuit would eventually get dismissed, but the reputational damage was already done. Reynolds, an established star with a hefty amount of industry goodwill behind him, was able to absorb damage like that and keep ploughing forwards. Simply put, he's just too big and too important for studios to bail on. Lively, on the other hand, absolutely isn't. Her much publicised drinks brand folded, former co-stars began to distance themselves, and high-profile roles evaporated. In PR terms, she was more radioactive than a Chernobyl nightclub. If there's one thing that Hollywood can't abide, it's a controversial...
Cool. That is a good way to look at it. I'm like the auntie who's wanting to know what's going on for the gossip to spread around town. Yeah, literally. That's literally what it is. I like seeing what's going on and being like, I'm happy. It's just fun. It's just fun. I guess I'm the auntie. Star
with legal baggage, and that's exactly what Lively had become. As of the time of making this video, she's got no major roles in the pipeline. Can she ever make a comeback? Well, her libel case against Baldoni is due to go to trial in May 2026, even though 10 of the 13 charges against him have already been dismissed. But whether it will result in vindication or even more damaging revelations is anyone's guess. Let's be honest, after the shit show that was Amber Heard versus Johnny Depp, the days of female accusers getting automatic support and trust are long gone. The harsh reality is that after all the dust is settled, no Hollywood casting agent in their right mind is going to invest serious money in Blake Lively, and the movie that should have made her career ultimately ended up breaking it. Thanks to Surfshark for sponsoring today's video. Don't
Yeah, it's funny. These people are so at the top. They just think they're untouchable. They think they're absolutely untouchable. And I guess with Ryan Reynolds, that is true. That is absolutely true. Because if you're so above it all, you really don't need to worry. You really don't need to worry. Because again, you're up here. Like I've been saying, everyone wants to be up here. Everyone wants to be up here. Nobody wants to be down here. Everyone wants to be up here. Ryan Reynolds is up here. His wife was literally just hanging on to him up there. She had no standing of her own. She was like down here, but she was married to someone up here, so she thought she had more credibility than she actually did. She thought she had more credibility than she actually did. But oh my gosh.
You guys got a video?
Oh.
It's so bad.
And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Wait, not that.